All right, good afternoon, class. This is Dr. Jace, and we are going to do a few course updates right now, and we are also going to look at a few English language and English literature resources, and just get you all kind of familiar with and acquainted with those. And I'm a little under the weather, so I'm not sure how long this video is gonna last, but we will keep talking until we can't talk anymore, I guess. So let's see what we've got here. All right. Okay. First things first. The continuing issues as far as some of these articles. Some of your classmates may find alternative links, and that is good. I will try to update this link when I get the opportunity. But yeah, I do think that there was some database coverage lost between the spring and now. I mean, the fall and now. And so that is causing some of the discrepancy that we see. But as you can see, for instance, Alexis has provided a link. So that can be used for your studies. I did want to just give a reminder that the reference interaction report is due next week, February the 10th. So you'll find the instructions right here, as well as the rubric. And let me answer that. Yeah, sorry about that. So you'll see the directions for the reference interaction report as well as a rubric, and it should be roughly about 1,000 words. So this shouldn't be a huge assignment. Okay. But check that out when you get a chance. It is your first, I guess, real assignment if you don't count the syllabus quiz. So, if you start out doing well, then you'll probably finish doing well. So there you have that. And let's get into some literature resources. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to Mid-Continent Public Library, because I found this a little strange, but I don't think Mizzou has what I wanted to show you all first, which is actually one of my favorite databases, and that is actually literature criticism online. So yeah, I was looking, and from what I can tell, a lot of academic libraries do have this resource, but I don't see it in their listing. So just to kind of go there. Got Literature Online, aka Lion, which I think may be similar. Let's see. Yeah. So this is a ProQuest resource, whereas I believe Gale is responsible for, Gale is responsible for literature criticism online. But especially for those of you who will be working in academic libraries, you are going to have situations where you have to acquaint your students with literary criticism and other sorts of literature resources. So let's see what this guy can do. Okay. Let's see. Who's going to be popular? I think Ernest Hemingway is going to be popular in this database. So we can put in Ernest Hemingway, and as you can see, we've got 1,700 results right away. But one thing that you're going to want to do is come over here to the right and look at content types. Got, again, 1,700 results in literary criticism. You also have biographies in this database, so this can be useful if you are doing research on the author. And you can come up, a lot of these are digitized versions of print materials. So you get that. Let's go back to the search results. You also have topic and work overviews, and then reviews and news. So one thing that you are quite possibly going to want to do is just explore all these various things. The topic and work overviews can be about the author themselves, or it can be about a particular work. So this is short story criticism, actually. In our time, originated in 6 imagistic vignettes that appeared in the Little Review in 1923. Okay. So you will see these various things, and what you can do is, as is standard, or what I would say is fairly typical, you have your options to download, email. You can generate sample citations, but again, remember that these citations are computer generated and only have about an 80% success rate of being accurate. Okay. Now, you come over here, and if you are in an advanced search, let me do that again. So now I'm going to advanced search. I'm going to take the basic search and change some things here. So, if I could have the name of a work, let's see, yes, so you can also, in addition to searching by author, you can search by title, you can search by a number of other things. So these are critical essays related to the poem A Dream Deferred. And so you can look at these critical essays. There's a lot of scanning in these searches right now. Sometimes you'll just get HTML full text. I actually think I was getting that more often in the past than I am today. Yeah, see, this is another scan. Image not available. That is raw. Okay. So, and again, you can come over and look to your tabs to the right. You'll see biographies probably for Langston Hughes. Lorraine Hansberry also showed up. But Langston Hughes is I believe, the author of A Dream Deferred. Now that I see Lorraine Hansberry, I'm starting to wonder. Some of you probably know better than I do if you're literary specialists, literature specialists. Okay. So if she was a playwright, that would probably explain that. Okay. And so, of course, you can always look up similar subjects. A Raisin in the Sun, which I think is what Hansberry wrote kind of borrows from the concept of a dream deferred. Got people again. So you got Langston Hughes, Lorraine Hansberry, author Paul Davis. Montage of a dream deferred. Name of works. So you have similar works listed here. And various document types, okay? So that's a basic rundown. I would encourage you all to kind of familiarize yourselves with this, but if you are working at an institution that has literature criticism online, then you are probably going to want this to be one of your first searches when you are searching for literary criticism, if you are ever in a situation where you need to search for literary criticism, okay? So, looking at the ProQuest database, the literature online, I am seeing that it's a more powerful search interface than Gale's literary criticism. So that might be why the University of Missouri is opting for this particular resource. One thing that you can do is you can actually browse authors by name. If you don't want to look them up in a search bar, you can just kind of come here and see who is featured. And if you select one, just randomly select this one here, you'll have, in some cases, you're going to have criticism as well as reference resources, including biography information. Here, again, I picked this one random. They only have criticism listed for her. And what you can do, this particular piece was accessible immediately. These other pieces would be, you probably need to find them either through a journal finder resource or through Interlibrary Loan. But let's go back to the search. So you actually have quite a few parameters here that you didn't have in the previous database. So you can look up, for instance, African-American writers, or Anglo-Irish, Asian American, Native American, all of these options. And you would be limited, I believe, just to those particular types of authors. If you choose African American, get 830 results. And all of these are African American. We've got Maya Angelou is a big one. There are quite a few heavy hitters here. Let's go ahead with Maya Angelou, because this is what I was talking about. So you've got text, so you can actually see, not in this case, but you would theoretically be able to see some of the things that this writer has written. Reference materials for this author. We've got an online bibliography, we've got an online biography. And same if you just need to come to a biography. You can click biography and go straight there. You can do the same with bibliography. Ugh. This Missouri weather is killing me. I don't know how you all do it. I'm a North Carolina boy, and all these random temperature fluctuations are just killing me. Okay. So you got that. Look up Hemingway again. I would assume there's more than one biography here. And I would assume incorrectly. So, the Gale database will have multiple multiple biographies. And it looks like this ProQuest database is only featuring one. Pardon me for a second. Okay. So if you click the criticism link, then again, you are taken to a listing of criticism. And again, some of the criticism is available right through the database, but some of it, if you see this guy here, you'll have to use a Journal Finder app, or you'll have to enter library loan. Let's give this a shot and see what happens. Refuse to connect. Okay, well, I'm not going to waste y'all's time with that. But your librarian should be able to assist you if you are having trouble with getting that full text. Worse for worse, you probably would just have to get interlibrary loan. So you've also got text, criticism, and reference tabs. So for poetry, let's see, look up poets. Let's look up Winston Hughes and see what happens. Oh, God. All right. Let's see if this is the full text. Yeah. So you've got a poem there, you've got the full text to the poem, so if students are not able to find a print source with this full text, then this is another option that they have. Criticism works much the same way. So again, let's try Langston Hughes. Very Langston Hughes dependent. You can also look up by the reviewer in this resource, but I've never had to do that. People seem to want a specific author, but not a specific reviewer most of the time. No, of course, that question could come up, and then if it comes up, you're like, ah, man, Dr. Jace, he lied to me. He said we'd never get this. And I apologize for that. But for the most part, you're going to be searching for authors and not for reviewers. Let's see. Okay. Let's add to search. And I'm actually going to take this or off. I shouldn't need it. So Langston Hughes. Let's see if we found some literary criticism. Yes, we do. We have 23 results. So, again, you can select one of these. If you don't want to deal with that PDF, you can definitely select, well, I'm not exactly sure what that is. Did I go into criticism? Lord, this is what happens when you're sick. Oh, God, hold on. Ghost call. Okay. Let's jump back into this. Search criticism. Hughes. Oh. Again, I am losing it. Okay. I went into subject. See, y'all are seeing all the misery of the search process here. Use, come on. I am in a criticism tab. Let's see if we got it. Again, I gotta take this or hues off. Come on, please let me have some criticism here. What is going on? Well, for this particular one, what I'm seeing is more so, let's try Ernest Hemingway. What I'm seeing is more so just the full text. And this is why I like literature. Literature Reference Center, or the Gale resource, as I call it. Let's see. Ernest. This is again an Ernest Hemingway piece. I am not liking this. Okay, hold on. Okay, so for what it's worth, and I'm glad that I actually made all these errors so that you all can kind of see the search process is not always going to be perfect, and you just have to keep trying. So it looked like when I actually searched for a title as opposed to an author, I did come up with literary criticism. Here's one here by Bartholomew Brinkman. And this is definitely a literary criticism piece on Langston Hughes' Montage of a Dream Deferred. Okay. So maybe you'll have better luck if you are searching by title when looking for a piece of literary criticism on a piece of literature in this database. Reference. Again. Do Hemingway again. Miss me with that. But I am hoping that y'all are seeing that. What on earth? You know what? I'm just going to browse one of these. Even though these searches are apparently powerful, I am definitely more partial to the Gale resource than this ProQuest resource. Okay. But if I were to select one of these, I would have a biography there. So if I'm browsing these, then I may have a biography. And I also may have a bibliography, depending on the author. Okay. And you can come back up here and browse those. Okay. Let me get out of that. All right, one final database that I'm going to show you guys very quickly is the MLA International Bibliography. And this can be used to find a wide selection of resources. And it's an EBSCO database, as you can see there, EBSCO-host. So EBSCO, I have a love-hate relationship with them, but they have some pretty good usability. So let's see. Let's say I just wanted to do of mice and men. So for one thing, when you're in advanced search, you do have these options for different types of criteria. So you can have any text field, you can have you can leave it blank for optional. You can list the author's name. If it's in the abstract, you'll find it there. Dissertation info, specifically for dissertations, date of publication, journal title, stuff like that. Let's see what happens when I do a title search for mice and men. Okay. All right, and so what you've got here, you get this list of results, and you have 84 results. We can do linked full text and see how much that drops us down. That dropped us down from 84 to 5. So a lot of times, you are going to have to use your Journal Finder feature in order to find the full text. You can limit by date here. Can limit by different source types. Most of this is in academic journals, but you do have some book articles, and you also have some books, have dissertation abstracts there. And then once you click on a record, you will see that Of Mice and Men is in the title. It's not listed as a subject term. Now let's see what happens if we try to do this search for Of Mice and Men as a subject. Okay. So these don't necessarily have Of Mice and Men in the title, but supposedly when you go into this record, general subject area, Of Mice and Men. And so you know that this is specifically about Of Mice and Men in some way if it's listed as a general subject area. And also what you can do in any of the EBSCO databases is you can click a subject and get back here. And so DE, that stands for delimiter. So you have delimiter Of Mice and Men. Everything here lists Of Mice and Men as a subject. And so these should be your most relevant results. Okay. And that's pretty much how that works. Now you can also, again, search by, let's see if we have Langston Hughes as a, he would probably also be a subject. I don't know if there's anything that he authored in this database, but let's find out. And I was wrong. So you may not have the full text. I'm seeing books here. I'm seeing academic journal articles that we don't actually have our find it full text thing there. Let's see if we have full text. Yeah, no results. So when you are doing a search for an author, but you're doing that search for an author as the subject, so you're not looking for things that this author wrote. You are looking for things about this author. Then you're going to want to go to subject. And you'll be brought here. 792 results. But as you can see, subject terms include, and you have general subject areas and subject terms. They both will be searched when you select subject. And you got Langston Hughes right there. Okay. So this is also a very, very helpful one. And it's, you're not going to find well, I would say that if you were looking specifically for criticism, you may want to attempt to look in one of those previous two databases first, okay? The functionality is just easier, and you'll find the criticism easier. But having said that, you are more than welcome to play around with this, and I am going to go brew some tea. All right. See y'all next week.